That's it again.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Hello.
Good evening, ma'am.
Right.
Good
Okay.
evening, ma'am.
Right. How are you all?
Fine, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay.
Fine, ma'am.
Did I give you any 1 minute talk or anything?
Good, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. What did I give you for 1 minute? Anything
Yes, 1 minute
that you like?
speech.
Yeah. Okay, we can start quickly and you can exit 1 minute. Okay.
Yeah.
I told you that you have to actually be prepared for that. Okay. Who is going first? Who is going first?
It's me, Buddhika, ma'am.
Yes, Buddhika.
But I got prepared for the schools of psychology, not the definitions of psychology. So does
All
it
right.
matter that I start with the
No.
second?
Yeah. You
part
don't
of
need
the
to worry about the
lesson?
order. Whatever you are ready with, you can talk.
All right, ma'am.
All right.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Hello,
Buddhika.
everyone. This is what I know about the schools of psychology. Several schools or approaches of psychology have been emerged. Uh, uh, the structuralism, functionalism, behaviorism, psychoanalysis, cognitive, humanistic, gestalt psychology are those schools. Among them, there are four major schools. They are behaviorism, psychoanalysis, cognitive, and humanistic. When talking about behaviorism, Ivan Pavlov, John B. Watson, B.F. Skinner were the pioneers, and what they believed was they believe that environment affects our behavior. They focused on stimulus response connections. The psychoanalysis theory of Sigmund Freud and Erik Erikson, they suggested that the behavior is a result of all components of our mind. I mean, conscious, pre-conscious, and unconscious. What we call in the same words like a superego, id, ego, and superego. And they believed in the existence of unconscious mind. What they said was behavior is a result of internal mental capacity. Examples for internal mental capacity are perception, problem solving, sensation, creativity, imagination, and attention. The last of the four major approaches is humanistic. The humanistic approach was from Carl Rogers and Maslow. To them, behavior is explained in development of positive self-concept. It means we want good and we have a desire for our self-actualization. Self-actualization means to do our
Okay, Buddhini. It was really good. But you're breaking down and see, but it's actually very brief. Thank you. So I can get somebody else to now take over.
I'm
Thank you,
Nadi, madam.
Buddhini. Yeah, please go ahead.
I'm Nadi, madam.
Yes, Nandi.
I talk about
Mm.
definitions of psychology.
Okay.
Last day we discussed Unit 1,
Mm.
Introduction to Educational Psychology, and 5 topics,
Mm.
subtopics. First one is what is psychology? Under this topic, we discussed about definitions of psychology.
Mhm.
American Psychological Association defines psychology is the scientific study of the mind and behavior.
Mhm.
Most of the contemporary psychologists agree on a definitions of psychology as the scientific study of behavior and mental processes of organism.
Mhm.
Scientific study means using techniques such as observation, description, and experimental investigation to collect information and organizing this information. And mental processes refer to private and cognition process such as attention, remembering, problem solving, thinking, feeling, etc.
Mhm.
And behavior refers to all the actions or reactions of an organism. That's
Mhm.
all.
Right. Very good, Nadi. Keeping to the time frame. Very good. Very well prepared. Well done. Who is next?
Madam.
Who is next? Are you ready? Are you prepared? Then I
Yeah.
can give actually at least 2, 3 chances. Though not everyone is ready, it's okay. Anybody?
Madam,
Yes, dear.
I am Mayumi.
You're actually very soft. I can't follow you.
Madam,
Yeah.
can you hear me?
Now, very. What about others? Can you hear her?
Madam,
Yeah.
I am Mayumi. Can you hear me?
I can't follow you. No, you're not clear. Very soft.
Madam,
Yeah.
hear me? Can you
Now
hear me?
okay. Now okay.
Okay, madam. I'm Mayumi.
What's your name?
Mayumi.
Yeah, Mayumi. I think you have to high and kiyan the Speak up.
Okay, madam. Sorry.
Mm.
Shall I start?
Yes, please.
I'm going to talk about major schools of thoughts in
Mm.
psychology.
Mm.
They are behaviorism, psychoanalysis, cognitivism, humanism. Now I would like to introduce about behaviorism. The pioneers of it, J.B. Watson, Ivan Pavlov, and B.F. Skinner. Behaviorism suggests that all behavior can be explained by environmental forces rather than by internal forces. Next, psychoanalysis. The pioneer of it, Sigmund Freud, he emphasized about unconscious mind and conscious mind. He used about iceberg theory, and he believes that human mind was composed of 3 types. They are id, ego, superego. Let's see about cognitivism. The pioneer of it, Jean Piaget, he investigated the internal mental process such as memory, thinking, learning, feeling, problem solving. It is interested in how people mentally represented information processing. The last one is humanism. The pioneers are Abraham Maslow and Carl Rogers. It is different. It is different from others. Um, he used the needs. It is called hierarchy of needs. That's all.
Okay. Very good, Mayumi. You also actually kept to the time frame. It's really good. So when you're prepared only, it can be done. One more chance.
Hello, ma'am. Can you hear?
Hello.
Good evening, madam.
Is it Purnima or
Yes, ma'am.
who is going to present? Is it Purnima?
Can I, madam?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Yeah, okay. Good morning, good evening, everyone. Sorry. Today I'm highlighting one of a school sort of called the Psychoanalytic School of Psychology.
Uh-huh.
So there are 4 major schools of thought in psychology, such as the Behavioristic School of Psychology, Psychoanalytic, Cognitive, and Humanistic. So the second school of thought, psychoanalysis, was founded by the Austrian scholar Sigmund Freud. Also, he is the father of modern psychology, and it focused on the working of unconscious mind to explain human behavior. According to him, the human mind is of 3 parts. The first one is id and ego. The last one is superego. And the id is present from birth. To explain this, he developed the iceberg theory also. According to him, everyone possesses unconscious desires, memories, and thoughts. So, psychoanalysis aims to make unconscious elements conscious to feel free. In short, all schools have their special importance in psychology, but psychoanalysis is the only school that focused on the unconscious level, and it is impossible to completely predict the unconscious mind. That's
Okay.
about it.
Very good, Purnima.
Okay,
Very
thank
good.
you.
Right? Very well done. Who is next?
Good
Hello.
evening, madam. Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
dear. Yes. Is this Shakira?
I am Shakira. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. So I am here to give a brief introduction, brief recall on the branches of psychology. Psychology is mainly divided into 2, that is pure psychology and applied psychology. And under pure psychology, we may learn general psychology, abnormal psychology, social psychology, experimental psychology, physiological psychology, parapsychology, geographical psychology, and development psychology. And under applied psychology, we will be studying about clinical psychology, industrial psychology, legal psychology, military psychology, political psychology, sports psychology, and educational psychology.
Very good.
And currently, we are in the purpose of studying what is educational psychology. So, what is educational psychology means? It is the study of application of psychology and psychological methods to the study of development, learning, motivation, instruction, assessment, and related issues that influence the interaction of teaching and learning.
Wow.
And in our final class, we studied about the scope of educational psychology also. So the scope of psychology includes human behavior, growth and development, learning, heredity and environment, personality, individual differences, intelligence and measurements, guidance and counseling, and motivation. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, very good. Very well done, Shakira. Okay. Then who is going next? The last chance, because we have to do our today's lesson also. At the end, if time permits, I will get the others also. Who is going last?
Madam.
Yeah, Anjana.
Anjana.
Okay, Anjana.
I'm going to present the field of branches of psychology. On that topic, psychology is the scientific study of the mind and behaviorism. When we talk about psychology, we can find some notable subfields investigating how individuals interact in social contexts. So under the branches of psychology, there are 2 parts, pure psychology and applied psychology. Pure psychology means, often referred to as theoretical or basic psychology, seeks to understand fundamental principles and mechanism of behavior without necessarily focusing on practical applications or solving specific issues. On the other hand, applied psychology involves using psychological principles and findings to address practical issues and solve real-world problems, such as improving mental health, enhancing performance, or optimizing organizational process. Under few or basic branches, there are several subfields, include general psychology, abnormal psychology, social psychology, physiological psychology, parapsychology, child psychology, and animal psychology, as well as under the applied branch includes clinical psychology, industrial psychology, educational psychology, psychology of crime, it means crime psychology, military psychology, mental health, and psychology in law. Thank you, ma'am.
Very good. Very well done. If there are others who are ready with the 1 minute talk, at the end of the lesson, I thought of giving them a chance. Who are there who are ready? And you want to talk? Is there anybody else? No. Now I want to, before I start today's work, I want to talk to Shalini. That day Shalini was hospitalized. I don't know whether she has joined. Now she's okay. Shalini, are you there? Shalini? Is she there? It seems she has not joined, no? Maybe still in hospital. So we will actually wish her speedy recovery. Okay, now today's work. Okay. Let me open my lecture note. I need a moment here. Wait. Okay. What's this? Education psychology folder is missing. Give me a second, Puta. Now, until then, if there's anybody to present, you can start. I need a minute. Is there anybody to talk? Give the 1 minute presentation.
Okay, madam.
Please go ahead.
Okay, I am Krishna. I will tell about what is psychology.
What's your name, dear?
Krishna.
Yeah, Krishna.
Krishna.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I will tell about what is psychology. Psychology means the scientific study of behavior and mental processes of organism.
Okay.
Scientific study means using techniques like observation and description to collect and organize information. Mental processes refer to private and cognitive process like attention and problem solving. Next is the behavior refers to all actions or reaction of an organism. So we can introduce psychology as the scientific study of mind and behavior as defined by American Psychological Association. Thank you, madam.
Very good, Shishna. Shishna, right?
Krishna, madam.
Yeah, okay, good.
Okay.
Now we are looking at our unit 2. Today we are in unit 2. So I'm opening my document. I told you unit 2 is lifespan development. You can make your own notes as well, then and there, right? Lifespan development or developmental psychology. Because you know, education's main purpose is development of the child, right? That is. Did you tell anything?
Ma'am, the screen is not displayed yet.
Yeah, I'm still opening my document. Give me a second, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Give me a second. I'm opening it. Okay. Right. So our topic is unit is lifespan development. It's a bit lengthy, as I told you that day. Under lifespan development, now I think that you can see the screen. Am I?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. These are the topics. You can actually make 1 or 2 words and all that, and then it will help you to keep things in mind. Lifespan development. That is the development of the child. So ultimate goal of education is facilitating development of the child. So this unit is very important. There we discuss subtopics. What is lifespan development? Definition of lifespan development if not. Then what factors affect lifespan development of a child? What factors affect the child's development? So we are looking at two major factors, nature versus nurture and maturity versus learning. And then aspects of lifespan development. So development is not only physical, not only cognitive. So there are main aspects, areas of development, okay? And then we discuss theories of lifespan development, as I told you. Psychology is a lot of theories. So first theory that you're going to learn today. So there are 5 theories I have put here. Piaget's theory of cognitive development, Freud's theory of psychosexual development, Erikson's theory of psychosocial development, Kohlberg's theory of moral development, and Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems theory. Are you listening?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So today my target is, this is a lengthy unit. Today my target is covering up to Piaget's theory of cognitive development, up to this. Right? Definition, factors, aspects, and then Piaget's theory of cognitive development. Then you can see we have 4 other theories that we are not going to discuss. For that, I will actually get you to study it on your own. I give you the notes. And I will set it as your presentation assignment. So today after the class, I will actually give you a topic, theory, whether you're going to do Freud, whether you're going to do, whether you're going to do Kohlberg, or whether you're going to do Bronfenbrenner. And accordingly that you will receive your notes. And they are very big theories. You don't have to actually learn it that big. So based on the lesson note you get, I think you can see, how I am presenting Piaget's theory to you. Similarly, you have to actually be prepared for a 5-minute presentation on one of the 4 theories that you get. Do you get? That is your assignment, presentation, because you are evaluated through a presentation, a written assignment, and final written exam. Am I clear to you, dear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Are you ready to do that?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, today I saw you. You're all very well presented. It's 1 minute. So you are very well prepared. Your language is good. You can read and understand. So I have the notes for you. So you can study the note. You can prepare your slides. And you can actually make the summary of it, because you have 5 minutes. And then you have to present it in 5 minutes only. It's a skill. So that is your first assignment. It's a presentation. So before the class ends, I will actually give you one of the topics. And you will be getting your notes by tomorrow. I will give you 2 weeks time for that. Are you okay?
Excuse me, madam. It means
Yeah.
should we create a PowerPoint presentation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Excuse
Now
me, ma'am.
yeah.
Ma'am, it means we have to do it as a online presentation
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
sharing the screen like you are doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Right. So now we get to the topic, Putta. Otherwise, we won't be able to finish, right? And our topic or our unit is lifespan development. So if I ask you, what is our lifespan? From when to when? What do you say? What is our lifespan? From when to when?
From human birth to death.
That is it. We all say from birth to death. But in psychology, right? Development is not from birth to death. Instead, the development begins inside the mother's womb with the conception, right? The union of the ovum and the sperm. There itself, the development begins, and during 40 weeks of gestation period, you can see the development taking place. One cell, and ultimately a fully functioning individual at birth. So there's a greater part of development happening where? Inside the mother's womb. So because of that, when you want to define lifespan development, you have to tell that is the development from, what is the keyword? From conception to death. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, from
Yes,
conception to death, that is inside the mother's womb. You call it from conception to death, not from birth to death. Okay? And if not, you can say from womb to tomb. Womb එක ඇතුළේ යම්මගේ. From womb to tomb. Tomb කියලා කියන්නේ the death. When you actually die, you are put to tomb. Right? So from conception to death, the development happens. Then what is development? The pattern change that begins at conception continues through lifespan. So these development are age-related changes. As soon as a child is born, the child can't walk, the child can't talk, right? So they are age-related. The development is age-related. As soon as a child is born, the child can't remember things, recognize things. So development is age-related. As soon as a child is born, the child can't control its emotions. So later on that it can actually learn to control emotions. So likewise, development is changes which are age-related. Okay? And then from conception to death, those are keywords. And it happens in stages. It happens in stages of life. What are these stages? As I told you, before birth, inside the mother's womb, you call it prenatal stage. Before birth, prenatal stage. And then after birth, postnatal stage. So after birth, postnatal stage, from birth up to 2 years, you call it infancy. Birth up to 2 years, it's infancy. From 2 years to 11 years, it's childhood. From 11 to 18, it's adolescence or teenage, right? And then from 18 to 25, early childhood. Then middle age till 60, then older age. Something like that. So basically, prenatal and postnatal stages of development, they are very significant. You can add something else also here. What are the aspects? Physical development of a child. The child has to grow tall, and then body mass and all that. And cognitive development. The child can actually learn to talk, the child learns the language, the child can actually analyze, the child can pay attention, child can comprehend. All these things happen, no? The child can start thinking logically later on. So cognitive development. Then emotional development. When a child is born, the child can't control its emotions. If she's hungry, he will actually cry, right? If he wets the bed, he will actually cry because he can't control its emotions and all that. But later on, the child will learn to control his emotions, his development. So likewise, when the child is born, the child doesn't know what is right, what is wrong, morality. But when the child grows up and the child learns what is good, what is bad and all that. So different aspects like cognitive, physical, moral, and then social, then emotional aspects of the child should develop through the changes that are age related, okay, from conception to death, in stages, namely prenatal and postnatal. That is the definition of lifespan development. Did you get that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So what are the key words that I gave you from the definition?
From conception to death.
Conception to death.
Very good. Then
Stages of
Age-related changes.
changes, age-related changes, because it's actually age-related.
Changes.
Yeah. Then,
Womb to tomb.
yeah, the womb to tomb, conception to death. Okay.
stages of life.
Very good. Stages. It happens in stages, prenatal and postnatal. Then one more thing can be added. What is it? Different aspects. What are the aspects?
Physical development, cognitive development, emotional development,
Social development,
Social development.
moral development, likewise. Okay. Spiritual, language, anything. Motor development, the ability to use hands and all that. Neither. Okay, now especially in early childhood education, moral development is very important, right? You don't get the child to actually use a pencil before he is ready for that. Likewise, so different aspects. Okay, so now you can define lifespan development. Okay, you have to make sure that you put the keywords into your definition. Right, then we go to the next topic, subtopic. I'm going to now discuss factors that affect lifespan development. What is our topic? Factors that affect lifespan development. There are several factors that affects one's development. Okay, so your students in the class, what are the basically factors that affects their development? Maybe social, emotional, cognitive, physical, or spiritual, or whatever. So we can, as a teacher, that you should have that understanding. So we in your syllabus, which is related to, very much related to education, we will highlight two more major factors. That is nature versus nurture factor. What is it? Nature versus nurture. Say it, everyone.
Nature versus
Nature versus nurture.
Nature versus nature.
Yeah, I will give you another term for it. You can see it below. Heredity and environment. So we will be discussing that. Okay. That is one factor, that one major factor that affects child's development. Okay. So second one, maturity versus learning. Maturity versus learning, or maturation versus learning. So I will be explaining it further. So if I ask you this question, what are the factors that affect? What are the main factors? There are other factors also that we do not discuss. Okay. What are the main factors that affect lifespan development? You can say what? Nature versus nurture and maturation versus learning. A teacher should have that understanding. Otherwise, you will be over ambitious. You will penalize the child. You will not understand the child. Okay. This child's pace of development, you will not understand. So this is very important. That understanding is very important. So you come to the first point, nature versus nurture. There's another term for that, heredity and environment. Nature කියලා කියන්නේ heredity. Now you know our genes, right? Mother and father, the ovum and sperm, the combination of it. So there's a possibility of billion fold of combinations of the genes කියලා. Okay. So we don't know. That is why even the twins are not alike. There are billion folds are possible. Combinations are possible. But you get the characteristics from your mother, your grandparents and all that, right? they actually determines your actually development, your personality, right? So that is nature or heredity. Chromosomes, right? Chromosomes. So you don't have to know that. I have a nice video on that, but I'm not going to show it because it's a waste of time. You don't have to know how that y'all are not doctors, y'all are not health nurses and all that, and we can't help it also, right? But we know the students that come to your class, they are actually different from each other because their development, one factor that affects their development is their nature, their heredity, what they get in the genes, right? So even the two sisters in the family, the twins in the family, they don't get the same combination. So because of that, some are very high in IQ, some are very low in IQ, even the temperaments, even the talents, right? So all these actually are actually inherited. They are in their genes. So we call them, it's my nature. It's my nature. I don't talk much. It's my nature. That is something in my body, in my genes, that is it. That is heredity. So you have to have that understanding. If there are 40 students in your class, the 40 students in your class do not have the same genes, okay? They're totally different from each other. So you have to accept the fact that their development, right? Their development is due to their nature as well. It's one of the major factors. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So what is nurture? Another term for nurture is environment. So I told you in psychology, environment does not mean the trees and the skies and the seas and the animals. Environment is everything not within us is our environment. I spoke to you about it last time also. So environment, everything not within us. So I am your environment today. Your psychology lecturer is your environment. Apex campus is your environment. The friends that you have joined online, they are your environment. The religion that you practice, it's your environment. The country you're born into, it's your environment. The school you attend, the workplace, then your neighborhood, your siblings, your parents. It's true that you get your genes are from your parents, but at the same time, parents can be your environment also, right? If your parents are very kind, so your environment is a kind environment and you learn from that and it affects your development. Something like that, your neighborhood, your culture, right? Everything not within you is your environment. So that also affects the child's development. So now when your students come to your class, one factor that affects their development is heredity. You can't help it. It is there in their body, picking up blood here, right? In their genes. But what makes the difference there then? How can you actually facilitate it further? You can make the environment, the classroom, the teacher, the peers, the school culture, all these are environment. The teaching methodology you use, all these are environment. And that actually also affect their development. So environment that you can make it rich for them. So that is how the nature and nurture combination affects the child's development. Now, further on that, I ask you a question. Now you look at you and tell me, what have you inherited from your parents? What is your nature? Tell me, what is your nature? That is, you have got it from your parents, your grandparents, or whatever. Just tell me. What have you inherited? Yeah, complexion, definitely.
Hair,
The hair. So all
hair,
physical appearance.
eyes of
One
the
term
color.
is it what?
Sorry,
Yeah,
color of the eyes.
that is all our physical features. What is it? Physical features. Definitely your physical features. Definitely certain illnesses can be there. Right. Diabetes, the doctor Hanavani, your mother is a diabetes, your mother has thyroxine problems and all that. Is there diabetes in the family? Yeah, some certain diseases and ailments. Okay. So what else? Is that all? Physical features, then some ailments or diseases, some special innate abilities also inherited. Am I right?
Yeah, ma'am.
Now you can see sometimes on TV, 3 years old, 4 years old, they come and sing like Lata Mangeshkar. How come? That is in their genes, no? Some are very good dancers. Some can very nicely draw. They have not gone for any training. They are all also inherited. So special innate abilities. So those are inherited. But now they come to your class with their inheritance, right? But if the environment, the nurture is rich, that can be actually made, the development is facilitated. Now, for example, suppose there are two students in your class. One is very intelligent, it's inherited. The other one is not very intelligent, it seems. And when you teach, for the very intelligent one, it can be you ask him, right, watch this video and comment. And for the other one, you can take him to the language lab, mathematical lab. You can take him to actually look at some examples, and you can actually ask questions. You can use step-by-step method like that. You can make the environment very facilitative. That is nurture. So if the child is low, even if the child is low in IQ, the environment is richness, there can happen the development of the child. That is what that you should do. Cater to individual differences. So you have to know in your class, when you want to develop your child, because cognitive development, emotional, social, whatever, you have to make sure the child has its own nature, but we can make the nurture or the environment very facilitative. They will have their own pace, because no psychology knows that. What's the percentage or the weightage? How much of nature, how much of nurture? It's a debate in psychology, It's a debate in psychology. Nobody, still it's experimented. There's a very famous twin study, Kela, because they assume that twins have more or less the same nature. And they put the twins into two different nurtures, environments, and see what affects more, nature or nurture. But the psychologists say that it's very difficult to actually calculate or study. So we don't know the weightage, but we know nature and nurture both are contributing factors when it comes to the child's development. But you have nothing to do with nature, but you can understand the child. This is its nature, and then you can actually accordingly get them to expose to the facilitating environment in the school setup or whatever. Right? Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Then you can read the rest of it, what I have sent, when I send you the notes, okay, and make your own notes. Then we come to second one, maturation and learning. What is it? Maturation and learning. That is also another contributing factor when it comes to child's development. So what is this maturation? What is learning? What should come first? According to psychology, there should be the maturation for the child to engage in subsequent learning. I repeat, there should be the maturation for the child to engage in subsequent learning. Right? The teacher should understand that. So what is this maturation? Maturity can be explained as the process related to changes in behavior that are primarily genetically programmed. අපි කියන blueprint කියලා. As soon as a child is born, the child will not walk, the child will not talk. It is actually, there's a blueprint. The child will start to walk by 10 or 11 months. The child will start to talk in 18 to 24 months. That is genetically programmed. As soon as the child is born, that you can't get him to walk or talk. You call it the readiness. What is the term?
Readiness.
Readiness. If the readiness is not there, the child can't actually engage in further learning. The child can't engage in further learning. That is why they say, there's a criticism. The child, you have to wait till the child is ready. That is the teacher. Okay. Now, the mental development of the child, the cognitive abilities of the child develop with age. Before the child's readiness is there, before that particular age is there, that you should not force it on him. Forcing actually is traumatizing. It's actually traumatizing, but it happens in education, especially in a country like ours, because education is a competition, right? And lack of understanding of the parents and teachers. You can't wait till they are ready. Now, for example, they say, just because that she's 3 or 4 years and going to the Montessori, you should not get the child to hold the pencil and write. Why? Motor development is not there. The child is not yet mature to do that. So first, the child has to use the finger and write on air, write on sand. And when the right time comes, you give him the pencil and it's not traumatizing. But we don't wait till the right time comes. So in the Piaget's cognitive development, that is what we are going to discuss in very superficial level. So you will understand this maturation and learning. Now, when it comes to actually walking and talking and all that, as soon as a child is born, that we can't give him a walker and get him to walk. You will wait till he's ready by the 10 months only, that you will give him the walker. Then environment, so he will learn to learn. It's facilitated, and then to jump and then run and dance and all. Subsequent learning. But you wait till the maturation is there, no? Similarly, you do not know what is going on in their internal mental capacities. So there should be the maturation for them to engage in subsequent learning. So in Piaget, we are going to discuss a bit, but your syllabuses, your activities in the books, they are all based on this concept. That is how they are done. So getting them to actually first write with the finger on there, and then sand, and then hold the pencil, and then like that. We introduce it age-wise. Thus, educationists do that. Now, for example, you think of a child who has a split tongue. So if he has a split tongue, child can't actually learn to talk. Likewise, maturation should be there for the child to actually engage in subsequent learning, which we call readiness. Wait till the readiness comes, right? So in Piaget's theory of cognitive development, we will touch this readiness, concept of readiness a bit, because that theory is about readiness. And you can be mindful, because your syllabuses, your activities in the textbooks, they are all actually developed thinking in terms of this readiness. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Now we will look at the main aspects of development. There are very many aspects: physical, motor development, language development, social development, emotional development, spiritual development, cognitive development, blah, blah. But here, psychologists, educational psychologists, they identify 4 main aspects of development. How many main aspects? 4 main aspects of development. What are the 4 main aspects of development? You all can read: physical, social, cognitive, emotional. Right? So physical, social, cognitive, emotional. So teachers should facilitate the development of all the four, not only cognitive development, right? You all get them to learn, you all get them to study, you all get them to pass exams with flying colors, but you can't forget the rest of it. Emotional development, social development, and physical development of the child as well. So because of that, whatever the subject that you teach, it doesn't matter. Maybe you're a math teacher, you're a science teacher, you're an English teacher, you're a sports teacher, or whatever, religious knowledge teacher. You have to know that you have to make sure that you actually make all the four areas actually developed. That is why later on that you will learn, if you all are from colleges of education, you might have done lesson objectives, the three hearts: head, heart, and hand. Head is cognitive, heart is emotional and social attitudes, skill is physical or ability to do something and all that. So we actually cover whatever the subject that you teach in each and every lesson. We facilitate the development of these four main areas. Are you okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Now, of lifespan development, and there are educational implications. That is also very important. How this theory is actually useful and how you can apply it in teaching learning process in education. That is educational implications. So we have 5 theories. There are others also, right? Don't think there are only 5. There are other theories also, but
Okay, ma'am.
in your syllabus, we will be discussing these 5, right? Any psychology student should know these 5, teachers especially. So here, Piaget's theory of cognitive development, Freud's theory of psychosexual development, Erickson's theory of psychosocial, Bronfenbrenner's ecological, Kohlberg's theory of moral development. So we are going to discuss 5, but today I will do Piaget. The rest is not very difficult as Piaget. I will be sending you the notes because they are very comprehensive theories. So at this level, you don't have to actually do it as master's level. No? So because of that, I will send you notes. So based on what is there on the note, you can actually search internet, read books, whatever. But make sure it's within the scope I'm sending. And you will be taking one and you will be getting ready. You will study it and you will think of a way of presenting it in 5 minutes. Okay. So you will not be able to discuss it in detail, but you know that everything that you can summarize it to 5 minutes, right? That is how we are going to learn it. Are you okay? It's not group presentation for y'all. It's individual presentations. Okay. Piaget, I'm going to discuss now. Any questions before I actually start Piaget? Any questions? Madams? Silence is killing. Hello?
No, madam.
No doubts, madam.
Right. Okay. Anything is there, you can talk to me, right? And while listening, you can actually take down keywords, subtopics, and all that. It will help you. And for next week, I will not get you to do a 1-minute presentation. Instead, a question and answer session on Piaget. What is it? Question and answer round on Piaget. I will send you the questions also beforehand with the note. Right? So you can study Piaget and get ready with the answers. So we will have a quick question and answer round in the class. I will name you. Can you tell this? Can you tell this, Kela? Are you okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Right. That is how we are going to do it next time, the revision of what we have done. So here you can see the picture of Piaget, and Piaget actually proposed the theory of cognitive development. So cognitive development is one aspect of child development. And when it comes to teachers, cognitive development is very important because it's very much directly related to learning and teaching process. Okay. So Piaget discusses the theory of cognitive development. So you have any questions? What is cognition? What is cognition? The child's ability to think, understand, comprehend, analyze, evaluate, use for problem solving, think logically, imagination, the child's ability to sense things and perceive things. That is actually cognition. You get it? Right. And it's actually the child's cognition, that is sensation, what he or she receives through the five senses, what he see, what he hear, what he actually smell and all that, and then ability to give it meaning. This is red color, this is sweet, this is sour, this is black. Likewise, as soon as a child is born, is that possible with the child?
Madam. Can't see the screen, madam.
Ah, okay, thank you for telling.
Okay, madam.
Yeah, now it's here. Nah?
Now okay, madam.
Yeah. Now you know, as soon as a child is born, the child doesn't know, this is red, this is pink, this is blue, this is green. But they are sensations. And then later on, the child gives the meaning to the sensations. What they see, what they hear, what they smell, what they feel, like that. What they taste, right? They can give meaning. This is red color, this is sweet. This is a beautiful smell. This is the smell of a dried fish, like that. The child perceive it, and then the child develops its ability to pay attention, and then child develops its ability to actually store information in the memory, and then retrieve memory information from the memory and apply them and solve problems, and all that. And then child develops the ability of thinking logically, and the child becomes creative. And these are cognitive abilities, and they are termed as mental structures or internal mental capacities. They are termed as internal mental capacities or mental structures. So that is also develops. When the child is born, they are very actually basic. The child sees something and the child can't say, this is my mother, this is my father. Right? This is red, this is black. Right? The child can't. Sensations are transformed into perception, and that is a development. And the child will learn to pay attention. And then like that, that cognition, that cognitive development, how it happens, right? How it happens, that is what Piaget discusses. Are you okay with that basic introduction?
Yes, madam.
Okay. So now cognitive development, I actually told you what is it, Kayla, right? And then if you want to, let me actually open something else. I have a PowerPoint, okay? So let me open it. That is easier for you. I will send you both the PowerPoint and the lecture note. Both I will be sending. Okay. Give me a second, Puta, okay? Right, it's here. So that is easier because I'm sharing the new one. Okay. Now here, look at this symbol of psychology. Can you see? Can you see?
Yes,
Yes,
madam.
madam.
What does
Yes.
it mean?
Uh,
What do you see? Balance. Am I
yeah.
right? So psychology is all about developing a balanced personality. Okay? That is your task. A balanced personality. Somebody who is actually very good in studies, but can't actually control emotions and can't get on with others. Very unhappy. Wadak naha ne? So that is it. You know, we get to Piaget now, this screen. So if you want to study, Piaget's theory is a bit difficult, but the rest of the theories are not difficult. You can do it on your own. So don't worry because of that, okay? Piaget's theory is a bit actually difficult, so I discuss it with you. So don't worry much about it, but I know I saw your capacities. You all are very good, so I know you can easily learn. Right? So here, if you want to actually discuss Piaget's theory of cognitive development, now you know what cognition is. Internal mental capacities or the mental structure of the child, the ability for sensation and perception and attention and memory and problem solving and logical thinking, imagination and creativity, how it happens, right? When and how it can be developed. That is what Piaget discusses. It's very much related to learning and teaching. And you know, at this undergraduate level, if you really want to study Piaget, postgraduate level, it may be more comprehensive than this. But at this level, you can actually study it by looking at 3 important components. How many?
3.
Yeah. So I tell you what you can make notes, right? The first one, underlying principle. Yeah, you can make notes. First component, first we have to talk about underlying principles of Piaget's theory of cognitive development. Once it is discussed, we can go to the second one, cognitive process. What is the second one? Cognitive process. And then we can talk about stages of cognitive development. So we are going to look at Piaget's theory of cognitive development in 3 components. What are the 3 components?
Underlying principles of Piaget's theory.
Theory of
Cognitive process.
Underlined principles, cognitive process, and
Stages of cognitive development. Right. So now we look at underlying principles of Piaget's theory of cognitive development. You can make notes, then it's clear, because this is, the rest are not difficult. This is a bit difficult, okay? Right. First underlying principle, cognitive development is age-related. Take down. Cognitive development is age-related. First underlying principle, right? So the child's ability to sensation, perception, attention, memory, problem solving, creativity, imagination, it is age-related. First underlying principle. As I told you, as soon as a child is born, the child can't recognize my mom. This is the red color, right? This is a chair. This means this. The child can't, okay? So it's age-related. Number 2, underlying principle number 2. Cognitive development happens in stages. Cognitive development happens in stages, in significant stages, in 4 significant stages. Right. That is what we are going to discuss as the last component, right? The 4 stages of cognitive development by Piaget. So significant stages of cognitive development is there. Hard. Third underlying principle. First you take it down, then I explain. Right? Age may vary. VARY. Age may vary. Never the sequence. I will explain that. Age may vary, never the sequence. Right. Before I explain that, I will repeat the 3 underlying principles. Cognitive development is age related. Second one, cognitive development happens in 4 significant stages. Third underlying principle, age may vary, never the sequence. Do you want me to explain the third one?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Now the third one. Okay. Age. Now he said no. Cognitive development is age related. So in the stages we discuss what are the ages of and stages of cognitive development. So he says age may vary, Kela. How can it vary? Due to factors affecting lifespan development. Because of the nature, because of the nurture, because of maturity, because of learning. Age may vary. So he specifies these cognitive development should happen in the first stage. These should happen in the second stage. That he says our first stage, it's up to 2 years. From birth up to 2 years, these things happen. From 2 to 11 years, these cognitive developments happen. But it may vary due to factors affecting development. So age may vary. You get that?
Yes, ma'am.
Never the sequence. What is a sequence? Sequence is, now he's speaking about 4 stages now. First stage, second stage, third stage, fourth stage.
Okay.
That sequence, ordering of the stage. If not the sequence of cognitive development, what develops first, what ability develops next, what is the next cognitive ability that the child should develop, right? That sequence, the sequence of the development of cognitive abilities, it never varies. Eka change when no child can jump from 2 to 3, 3 to 4. No child can jump from 1 to 3, skipping the second stage. No child can jump from 2 to 4, skipping the third stage. That is not possible. The child should go through the sequence of cognitive development. That means the sequence of stages that actually cannot be varied. You may be high IQ, a child with high IQ. You may be a child with low IQ. Whatever, you have to go through that order of cognitive development. But age he specifies, it may vary due to factors that affect development. Get me? Do you get me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
There's a madam can't see. Now it's okay. It's fixed. Okay. Now, I think better when it comes to this, you can again listen to the recording. You have access to recording, right? Do you have access to your recordings?
No, ma'am, we didn't receive any recordings yet.
You can ask for them and keep it with you. And then you can actually listen to them again. I will send you the notes also, because it's not only grade that you get at the end, but you have to develop your study skills also. No, I told you last time also. Because of that, get into the habit. It's really good. Okay, right. Anyway, yeah,
Excuse me, madam, can we get that presentation?
I will send everything.
Okay.
Recording from them, even these materials, the presentation and the Word document, both I will send, and you have to actually get it from the campus. Okay,
Okay,
I will
madam.
send it to them. Okay, now you understand Piaget's theory of cognitive development. It discusses the cognitive development of the child from sensation to problem solving and logical thinking. And when we discuss it, we look at three components. The first component is underlying principles. We talk about three underlying principles and you understand it. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah. Now we'll go to the second one. The cognitive process. What is the second one? The cognitive process. The cognitive process. Right. If you take the cognitive process, you have to look at I will tell you three, Kiela. There are four keywords. What are the four keywords that you have to look at? Schema or schemata, assimilation, accommodation, equilibration. These words, these terms, they are coined by Piaget himself when he formulated this theory in 1940s. Okay? When he formulated this theory, he coined these terms. So they may not give the general or the dictionary meaning itself, but he has coined it for the sake of discussing cognitive development. And it has its own meaning in this theory. So schema or schemata. So assimilation, accommodation, and equilibration. So we are going to discuss these terms in order to discuss cognitive process. That is a second component of Piaget's theory of cognitive development. Are you ready for the discussion of cognitive process by looking at four key terms coined by Piaget himself? Are you ready?
Yes, madam.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. First one, schema or
Yes, ma'am.
schemata. Right. Schema or schemata. This is a bit difficult, so don't worry. Everything is not like this, but Piaget is a bit difficult, okay? Schemata or schema means, in this theory, you can take it down, building blocks of knowledge. Building blocks of knowledge. Building blocks of knowledge. I will explain what it is. It's a hypothetical one, okay? It's not actually something tangible. It's hypothetical. Now, you know, if we take yourself, if I take myself, I have thousands or millions of schematas with me. I know how to cook. It's a schemata. In that schemata, I know how to cook dal curry. It's a schemata. I know how to drive. It's a schemata. Right? I know how to study, how to read, how to do something. That is a schemata. How to dine out in a restaurant. It's a schemata. So we have millions of schematas with us by now. Am I right? Building blocks of knowledge. Are you okay? It's hypothetical. Are you okay?
Okay,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
You know how to swim. You know how to ride a bicycle. They are schematas. But you take that same dal curry. Now I know how to cook dal curry. But I first cooked my dal curry when I was 10 maybe. 10 years. Right? In my 50s also I know how to cook dal curry. Is it the same or it is different by now?
Different.
Different.
What has happened to my schemata then? My schemata about cooking a dal curry. Cooking dal curry.
It's
It has undergone
improved.
change. Am I right?
It has improved by change.
Improved. Right. So schematas are not static. they undergo changes. Building blocks of knowledge we have, they undergo changes. This changing process or the cognitive development process, right, happens through two main processes. What are the two main processes? Assimilation and accommodation. Now, these schematas that we have, they are not static. They undergo changes, that is cognitive development happens, right? So how does it happen? There are two main processes that actually involve in this process of cognitive development, schemata expansion. What are those two processes, Putta?
Simulation and accommodation.
Accommodation. Now I will explain the two terms of cognitive development process, that is assimilation and accommodation. Right. Psychology book says, or this theory says, this assimilation and accommodation, they are not two different processes. They are not worlds apart. They are not two different processes. Instead, they are overlapping processes. It happens at the same time. Assimilation and accommodation. So the first thing about it is, through assimilation and accommodation, cognitive development happens, schematas expand. Okay? And they are two overlapping processes. In cognitive development, both happens. Assimilation also happens, accommodation also happens. So cognitive development happens through this overlapping process of assimilation and accommodation. Schematas expand through the overlapping processes of assimilation and accommodation. Now, how to explain these two processes? For that to be discussed, you need to think of, now existing schemata is there. Your knowledge about making a dal curry, existing schemata. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is existing knowledge. You call it existing knowledge or existing schemata about something, right? But if you really want to actually develop, improve, then there should be new knowledge, new experiences that you confront. So to talk about assimilation and accommodation, the two overlapping processes, you have to use these two words, terms, existing schemata and the new experience, existing knowledge and the new experience, right? Now you have the existing knowledge and you can experience or new knowledge. So the existing knowledge and the new knowledge, they are matching. If they are matching, you add it to the existing one as it is. It is assimilation. The existing knowledge helps in understanding the new knowledge because they are matching. That is assimilation. Okay? But the existing knowledge and the new knowledge, there's a mismatch. In order to acknowledge the new knowledge, you have to do away with existing knowledge. They are not matching. So you're changing the existing knowledge to accommodate new knowledge. That is accommodation. I give you an example, right? This is not my own example. This is from a psychology book. A child is born, very young child, maybe it's only 9 months, 10 months, maybe 2 years, whatever. The child has a pet dog at home, and child is exposed only to this pet dog. The child has a schemata about dogs. The child knows dogs bark, they have 4 legs, they have 2 ears, they bark, and the child has seen only the pet dog at home. It's a Pomeranian, white in color. The child thinks the dogs are white in color, they are full of fur, they are small in size, like that. Then the neighbors, they bring another Pomeranian, it's brown in color. Now the child has to actually expand the schemata about dogs. Then the child actually assimilate. This is also a dog because it barks. It has 4 legs. It has a tail. It has 2 ears. It is small in size. So assimilation, because the new knowledge and the existing knowledge about the dogs match. But here the child initially thought all dogs are white in color. But this dog is brown in color. Now he actually changed his existing knowledge about pet dogs. Dogs can be white and brown both. An accommodation. Right? And now his actually schemata about dogs expand. And then again after a week's time, the child is taken to the park by the granny. Right, okay. What happens? On the way to the child sees a dog. It's a kind of a bulldog. Black in color, huge, not small, no fur. How does assimilation happen? It's a dog because it barks. It has 4 legs. It has 2 ears. Like that, it's also a dog. Assimilation. What is accommodation? Existing knowledge, some existing knowledge is actually shed in order to accommodate new knowledge. Now the child knows dogs are not only white and brown, they can be black also. Dogs are not only small in size, they can be big also. Dogs are not always full of fur, there can be actually dogs without fur. And accommodation. Are you okay?
Madam,
Yeah.
assimilation means the existing knowledge and the new knowledge is similar. So we
Yeah.
adapt to the same existing knowledge. Am I right?
Yeah, we add it to the existing knowledge. No, the existing knowledge helps. Existing knowledge helps them to understand new knowledge. This is a dog. He learns it because similar features. It's a matching thing. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
But how it is added on and or expanded? Existing knowledge should be actually changed in order to accommodate new knowledge as well. To expand their thinking about pet dogs here, all dogs are not white, they can be brown. All dogs are not white and brown, they can be black. All dogs are not small, they are big also, like that. You understand? If they are matching, write it. I will show you a video on this also for the better understanding. Okay. So our schematas always gets expanded. That is cognitive development. And it happens through overlapping processes. Dekam ekasare venawa. Assimilation and accommodation. Assimilation, the existing knowledge and the new knowledge matches. Accommodation, existing knowledge and new knowledge has a mismatch. So you have to actually change the existing knowledge to accommodate new knowledge. Am I right? This is a bit hypothetical, okay? Are you okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Now we will look at the term equilibration. Equilibration is balance. According to Piaget, right? We are actually in a state of equilibrium until we confront new knowledge. Until we confront new knowledge or experience or whatever, we are in a state of equilibration or equilibrium. We confront the new knowledge. What happens? We are actually in a state of disequilibrium. Disequilibrium. So we have that internal capacity, or we want the equilibration back. Because of that, we quickly uses the process of assimilation and accommodation in order to get back to that equilibration. That is what happens in cognitive development. Right? We actually, as it is, when we are not confronted with new experience or knowledge, we are in a state of equilibration. When we are confronted with knowledge, we are not in a state of equilibration, we are in a disequilibrium. So we have the capacity to actually, we want the equilibration back. So we engage in assimilation and accommodation and come back, because we want to come back to the equilibration by adding it to our schematas through assimilation and accommodation. Is it okay?
Yes, madam.
Yeah. So now I will show you a small video on schemata, assimilation, accommodation, and equilibration. Okay. Let me share that video. It will take a bit of a time because I know opening a video will take a while, but it's worth watching. Okay. Okay. Give me a second. I know, I got it.
Schema represents
Do you
one's
hear and see?
understanding of how something works or what something
Yes, madam.
is.
Do you hear
So
and
here we
see?
have an initial schema.
Yes,
Child
madam.
begins
Yes,
to develop an understanding of what a
Yeah,
dog
we
is
can.
from a picture book.
Hear and see both the video?
Yes, ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
And the
Give me
parent
a
reads you an
second. I
illustration
will actually make it bigger for you.
of the concepts that Piaget put forth of assimilation, accommodation, and schema. I'm at the Piaget stages of cognitive development put forth by the Department of Educational Psychology and Instructional Technology at the University of Georgia. A schema represents one's understanding of how something works or what something is. So here we have an initial schema. Child begins to develop an understanding of what a dog is from a picture book. And the parent reads, and this is what a dog looks like. Then the schema is forming. The child experiences disequilibrium. The child is actively constructing a schema about dogs. The child assimilates information and returns to a state of equilibrium. The child's thinking dog, ears, 4 legs, tail. The assimilation process continues. The child expands understanding what a dog is by observing one at a park. The child checks, yes, the dog has ears, 4 legs, and a tail. This animal must be a dog. Then the animal barks. The child experiences disequilibrium. The child's schema about dogs does not include barking. Then, in petting the animal, the child notes that it's furry. The assimilation process is continuing. The child experiences disequilibrium. The child's schema about dogs does not include fur. Then, the child's licked by the dog. The child again experiences disequilibrium. The child's schema about dogs does not include licking. So as part of this assimilation process, the child is in an experience of disequilibrium. Here's this animal that barks, is furry, and licks. Is it actually a dog or not? It does have the ears, the 4 legs, and a tail. So the child confers with the parent and says, dog. So while the child is in a state of disequilibrium, he or she is actively constructing meaning. He or she is building an internal schema or adding information to the existing schema. The child seeks reinforcement from the parent. The parent responds, dog. So the parent affirms and reinforces the new information. Assimilation is occurring. The disequilibrium resolves. The schema is organized to incorporate that new information. So, to the characteristics of 4 legs, ears, and tail, the child adds barks, furry, and licks. And so assimilation has occurred and the child has returned to a state of equilibrium. Now we have accommodation. So that now the child sees a cat in the park. A new schema must be formed to acknowledge that this is a different animal, even though it has some of the same traits as a dog. So the child sees this animal walking around, goes down the checklist, 4 legs, ears, tails, hasn't heard any barking, appears to be furry, hasn't licked. This animal goes meow. Now we're in a state of disequilibrium. The animal is furry. The animal does lick, but it meows. Now, this animal is climbing up a tree. So the child is in disequilibrium and is actively constructing meaning. Here she asks the parent to assist this disequilibrium. Dog? No, replies the parent. Cat. So the child is in a state of disequilibrium. The parent provides feedback and reinforces, this is a cat. So now the child, as process of accommodation, creates a new schema. So the child is in disequilibrium. Here she is actively constructing meaning. And this new schema says cat, 4 legs, ears, tail, meows, furry, licks, and climbs. Accommodation has occurred. The child returns to a state of equilibrium. A schema about cats has formed. All right, so hopefully that was a good illustration for you of schema, assimilation, and accommodation. And again, I want to thank the people who put together this presentation that I was able to share with you. Hello. Share with you an illustration.
Now, I think now you better understood it, Kela. Was it clear?
Yes, madam.
Yeah. So now I have the links also in the PowerPoint that you can click on that and listen to it if you want. So everything is like that even today. Now, suppose now I know how to cook dal curry. I started cooking dal at the age of 10 or 8 and still I'm cooking in my 50s. And maybe now you watch a YouTube video and I learn if you add coriander leaves to dal curry, it gives a different taste. So that is I'm expanding my schemata. So that is cognitive development. And always through the overlapping of assimilation and accommodation. Now I have developed my cognitive cognition that I can experiment. Right? A young child learning something new that it's at very basic levels. So that is what actually is schematas and how they develop, how they expand through the processes of assimilation and accommodation. When you confront new knowledge, new experiences, you are in a disequilibrium. You always want back the equilibrium. So you actually engages in assimilation and accommodation and get back to equilibrium. And that is what exactly happens in the classroom, also in the teaching process. Because when you give them new knowledge, they are in disequilibrium. So they will actually engage in assimilation and accommodation, the two overlapping processes, to get back to equilibrium. You get that? This is a bit hypothetical, okay? A scientific mind is needed for the understanding. Are you okay? You have to actually respond. If you're not okay, I can explain it again. But you have the recording, you have the materials, then you can actually go through and understand it better by revising it also. What do you think?
Madam?
Yeah.
When we are in the stage of disequilibrium, to convert into equilibrium, we may involve in assimilation and accommodation. Am I right?
Yeah, overlapping both.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that is what exactly happens in the teaching learning process in the class. Am I right?
Yes.
I give you an example. Now you're an English teacher. Now in grade 2, you tell them, right, past tense and past participle are formed by adding ed. Right? And then they see sing, sang, sung. Okay? Then what happens? Mismatch is also there, but some similarities are also there. So they expand. There are regular, there are irregular. You understand?
Yes.
Everything in life, even life experiences are like that. It's not only that what happens in the classroom, right? Even in the classroom also, that is what happens. That is what is said. That is how cognitive development happens. Okay, right. With that, we have another component on Piaget to be discussed. What is it? We have finished the underlying principles, 3 underlying principles. Then we finished the second one, the cognitive process, by discussing schemata, assimilation, accommodation, and equilibrium. Now the third one, what did I tell you?
Stages of cognitive development.
Very good, very good. Let me open the PowerPoint again. Okay. Very good. Okay. I'm sharing it again, the PowerPoint. Okay. Do you see the PowerPoint?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. Now the third component, stages of cognitive development.
Yes,
There are 4 stages of cognitive development. How many stages? 4 stages given by Piaget. So we will discuss the 4 stages. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for you. I will give you criteria for the discussion of the 4 stages. Now you can take it down. You will be able to discuss the 4 stages of cognitive development referring to these criteria. Okay? Right. Name of the stage. Name of the stage. Then age specified. Age may vary, but he specifies it. Okay? Age specified. Third one, how does cognitive development happen? How does cognitive development happen in each of the stages? That is how the significance is actually decided. This is significant from the other stage based on how cognitive development happens. Third one. Fourth one, significant cognitive development tasks. Significant cognitive abilities. Significant cognitive abilities. That is a 4th criteria. 5th one, key feature or the highest cognitive ability of the stage. Key feature or the highest cognitive ability of the stage. Number 6, the experiment conducted. The study conducted by Piaget to see whether they have achieved the highest cognitive development or the key feature. Now I repeat, now we are in the 3rd component of Piaget's cognitive development theory discussion. That is stages of cognitive development. So we learned there are 4 stages of cognitive development said by Piaget. You are going to talk about or understand each of the stages by referring to 6 criteria. What are the 6 criteria we are going to refer if you have taken down the first one?
Name of the stage.
Second one?
Age specified.
Very good. Third one?
How does cognitive development happen?
Very good. Fourth one?
Significant cognitive abilities or tasks.
Okay. Fifth one?
Key features or highest cognitive ability of stage.
Very good. The 6th?
And the 6th one is the experiment conducted by Piaget.
Yeah, to see whether they have mastered the highest cognitive development or the key feature of each stage. Right? They are still being used. So I'll be showing you videos and all that next day. Right? We have only 15 more minutes now. So how do you prefer? To discuss the first stage and finish? About to save time, better to at least, or the giving the summary of the what we already have discussed in these 15 minutes. What do you prefer? If you can actually listen to the video and on your own, you can revise it. I can actually discuss the first stage in the 15 minutes that we have. If you think it's difficult, I can actually summarize what we discussed, the first two components. What do you want?
Ma'am, shall we summarize the session?
Okay, very good. I will do that. Okay, because this is a bit of a actually, and you all are new to the discussion of theories also, and you don't have to worry. The rest of the theories are very simple. This is a bit actually advanced. Okay, so don't worry. So I'm actually not going to discuss the third component of the Piaget's theory, the stages today. Instead, we have finished two components of theory. So I'm going to summarize it now by asking you questions, right? I will just explain and ask you questions. Now, today our unit is lifespan development. So we first look at the definition of lifespan development. Can one of you quickly tell me give your name and tell what are the key terms that you should include into the definition of lifespan development?
Anjana, conception to death, stages of life, age-related changes.
What else? One more thing. Aspects. Aspects. Very good. Right. Then we looked at factors affecting lifespan development. Can you quickly tell me what are the two main factors that affect lifespan development?
Krishna, nature was nature, maturation was training.
Very good. That is Krishna. Very good. Okay. Then we discuss the four main aspects of development. What are the four main aspects?
Shakira, physical, social, cognitive, and emotional.
Very good. Then we looked at the theories of cognitive development, Piaget's theory of cognitive development, because Piaget discussed the development of cognition, one aspect. So other theories discuss social development, personality development, moral development by Kohlberg, like that, different aspects we are looking at. But here we discuss the cognitive development of the child by looking at Piaget's theory of cognitive development. So I told you, to understand Piaget's theory of cognitive development, we have to look at how many components?
3 components.
Yeah. What are the 3 components?
Underlying principles.
Yeah.
Cognitive process, stages of cognitive development.
Yeah, very good. That is underlying principles, cognitive process, and stages of cognitive development. So we will take the first one, underlying principles. How many underlying principles did I discuss?
Shakira, 3.
Yeah. What are they?
Shakira, cognitive development is age-related. Cognitive development happened in 4 significant stages. And the third one is age may vary, never the sequence.
Yeah. Can you explain the third underlying principle? Age may vary, never the sequence, in your own words.
Shakira, age may vary due to the factors of lifespan development, and the sequence may not vary. It means the stages may not vary.
Very good, Shakira. That I will explain it a bit further. Now, age may vary because due to nature or due to nurture, due to maturity, due to learning, age may vary. A child who is born with high IQ will develop the first stage cognitive tasks before another child, though Piaget says normally the first stage happens from birth up to 2 years. But a child may master the key feature or the highest cognitive development of the first stage in 12 months or 18, 16 months because his IQ is high. And again, if the environment is very rich, the child is facilitated, no? The development is facilitated. So because of that also it can happen. Suppose now in your class, you use language labs to teach language. In another school, they don't use any language labs, so there's no exposure to language at home. So that affects their development of language, right? So because of that, age he specifies may vary, but never the sequence or order of the cognitive development task that you can skip one and jump into the other. It never happens. Okay. You have to go in that order. Some may take more time, some may take less time, though he specifies particular age. So with that understanding, we come to the second component. What is the second component?
Cognitive process.
Sorry?
Cognitive process.
Yeah. To talk about cognitive process, we discuss 4 terms coined by Piaget himself. What are the 4 terms?
Schemas, assimilation, accommodation, equilibration.
Very good. So we'll take one by one and discuss. What is schemata?
Anjana, building blocks of knowledge.
Very good. So we have many building blocks of knowledge. How to drive, how to cook a dal curry, how to make kanji, how to cook chicken, like that, how to sew a dress or whatever, how to do your makeup, and everything is a schemata. Are they static or they change?
They are not static.
They are not static. They change.
Definitely yes. They actually change. Schematas actually expand. What are the 2 processes of actually getting these schematas changed?
Simulation,
Accommodation.
Yeah. So what do you know about assimilation and accommodation? What do you know about them? They are 2 overlapping processes. Both happen at the same time. No? They are 2 overlapping processes. And assimilation happens with the existing knowledge and the new knowledge or the experience are matching, and then you can use the existing knowledge to understand new knowledge. It's a dog because it has 4 legs, it barks. That is, it's matching, and because of that existing knowledge only that you understand the new knowledge. That is assimilation. At the same time, the new knowledge and existing knowledge, there's a mismatch. So to accommodate new knowledge, you have to actually remove some of the existing knowledge. All dogs are not white. It can be brown also. All are not small. They can be big also. That is what accommodation. So both should happen at the same time. Otherwise, no schemata expansion happens. Cognitive development happens. Are you okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Then equilibrium or equilibration. When we are not confronted with new experience or knowledge, we are all good. We are in a state of equilibrium. But when we are confronted with new knowledge, new experiences, we get into a state of disequilibrium and we want the equilibration back. So how do we get the equilibration back? Through assimilation and accommodation. That is what exactly happens in cognitive development and in the classroom, in the learning and teaching as well. They know something, you bring new knowledge. What they know, they use it. It's assimilation, and there is an add-on, and you actually take understanding which is not true and accommodate the new. The best example I gave you is first they learn, right? Past tense and past tense are ed. Okay, cook, cooked, cooked, jump, jump, jumped. And then they learn write, wrote, written. Then assimilation helps. This is past tense and past participle. That is how it's used. To talk about what happened yesterday, it says I wrote. So this should be a past tense verb, but it's not ed. Then the existence of regular and irregular they learn. You get that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Then we can get into the third component, that is stages of cognitive development. Under stages of cognitive development, I told you there are 4 main stages, and he actually specified ages also. So we are going to look at the 4 main stages referring to 6 criteria only at this level. Okay, otherwise it's very comprehensive. 6 criteria. What are the 6 criteria we are going to apply to talk about the 4 stages? The name of the stage, the age specified, how does cognitive development happen in each stage, and the important significant cognitive development, and then the highest cognitive development of the stage, because once they master the highest cognitive development, they are ready to move on to the next stage, right? So what's the highest, and what's the study done to see whether they have actually developed the highest cognitive ability during that stage, which is termed as key feature. Those 6 criteria we apply, and we will talk about the 4 stages. Are you okay? So next day, so we will be discussing the 4 stages and finish off Piaget. So I don't think that you need to actually be prepared for a question and answer session again, because 4 stages are not yet done, Nisa. But what can we do to start with next time? We'll go with a question and answer session, because we can't be spending hours and hours. Also for 2 hours we have Ekanisa. You be what I discuss, you be ready with some. I will ask questions by asking, calling your name. So do the summary and know it and come. Stages you don't have to. I'll be starting with that. And in the meantime, I will actually give you the topic, the theory of what you should study. So you can start reading and making your notes, and then, because in 2 weeks time that you have to do the presentation. So can I call your name and give the a theory that you have to do? So I will be sending all the 4 theories to you. You can actually read on what you have actually been given. තේරෙනවද ඔයාලට මං කියන එක?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, I will send it in one bundle. You read what you are going to do the presentation on, right? Only. So Anjana, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Anjana, I give you Sigmund Freud's psychosexual theory. Make a note.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Then I have one BEd. It's the registration number 7132. Are you there?
Yes, madam.
What's your name?
I am Mayumi Dilanka.
Mayumi, I give you Erik Erikson's psychosocial development theory. Okay?
Okay, madam.
So you can start reading that, and if you have doubts, you can ask me next week. Anjana, are you there? You give you, ne? Dhananjana?
Yes, ma'am.
Dhananjana?
Yes, ma'am.
You get Kohlberg's moral development theory. Then Fatima Rizvia,
Yes, madam.
you get Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems theory. Okay. Then Niroshan's iPhone, Nadi.
Yes,
Nadi, are you there?
yes, madam.
Yeah, you get Sigmund Freud's psychosexual theory.
Okay, madam.
Niroshan's phone, who is that? Purnima,
Yes, ma'am.
you get Erik Erikson's psychosocial development theory. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank
Gunavardhana R,
Yes, ma'am.
you get Kohlberg's moral development theory. Krishna Rahamatullah,
Yes, madam.
Bronfenbrenner's ecological system.
Okay,
Okay.
madam. Okay, madam.
Shakira Nias,
Yes, ma'am.
Sigmund Freud's psychosexual development.
Okay.
Are there others?
Yes, ma'am. Fatima
Yes,
Riznia.
ma'am.
Fatima Riznia, Eric Erikson, psychosocial development. Any other? Gayani?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you get? Did I give you?
No.
You talk
Yes,
about
ma'am.
Kohlberg's moral development. Sashi?
Yes, ma'am.
මම දුන්නද ඔයාට?
No, madam.
You can talk about Bronfenbrenner's ecological system.
Sorry, madam.
Bronfenbrenner's ecological system of development. Akila Randunu? Akila
How
Randunu?
long?
Now, presentation is 5 minutes. I will give you all the instructions. But you can start reading. It will be in 2 weeks' time. When I send you the materials tomorrow, you can start reading on that and making notes first. You have to be ready for a 5-minute presentation. That will be in 2 weeks or afterwards. Okay? Terenada?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Has everyone got a topic? There's one Tanuja Ratnayaka. Right. Okay, no problem then. Then this is what you're supposed to do. I will be sending Piaget plus the rest of the theories. You can read only on your one and start understanding it. And if you have a doubt next day, then you can get it clarified from me. I will give you a date after 2 weeks only because you need time to study. They are individual presentations, PowerPoint for 5 minutes, maximum 5 minutes. Okay. I hope everyone is okay with this.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm quite sure that you all can do also because you did nice 1-minute presentations today. Okay.
Madam,
So you
excuse
are
me.
capable. Yes.
Madam, we may share the screen, right? To do the presentation?
You can share the screen. But the problem is I want you to have the video on also. So make sure that you use a device that you have the video on and the PowerPoint is shared. If not, what you can do is you can send me the PowerPoint. I will share the PowerPoint. You have the video on.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
Something like that, because otherwise you can just read from the paper. No, PowerPoint presentation is not like that. I will talk to you about it next week. So this week you are going to read the theory that you are given and make your notes and come. If there are clarifications needed, you can talk to me next week. Okay. Then I will talk to you about the PowerPoint presentation that you're supposed to do, give you some insights about it. Okay. And remind me also. Okay.
Madam, then next week, just we have to present the notes that we have taken.
No, darling, you don't have to present also next week. I have given you time because you need to, because you need time to be prepared. No, note is given for you to read and be prepared. So next week, if you have a doubt, you can get it just clarified. No?
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm not going to spend time on those. Right?
Okay,
I
ma'am.
will
I
finish
understand.
Piaget and get into the third unit. Okay?
Yeah, ma'am. Understood.
Yeah. ඒකට ඔයාලට මොනවද තියෙනව නම් තේරෙන්නෙම නැත්තම් නිකන් without reading don't come and ask questions. You try to read and then even still that you don't understand, if there's a clarification you need, you can talk to me. In the meantime, I will talk to you 5-10 minutes again how to do a PowerPoint presentation. Okay? I will send you a written assignment also with criteria that I will take into account in evaluation and everything by next week. මේ week එකේ මොක හෙටම එවන්න ඒතර ඔයගොල්ලෝ පාඩම් කරලා පටන් ගන්න. That's when පටන් ගන්න. You get that?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
After 2 weeks, any time that you have to do the presentation. Most probably February first week. Okay?
Okay, madam.
Right. I hope today's session is okay with you all. Did you like Piaget's theory?
Yes, madam. It's interesting.
But a lot more to learn from stages. That's the most important component of Piaget. And then I will not discuss the rest of the theories from the unit 2. I will start unit 3, cognition. That is also very interesting. Very important for the teacher. Okay? Right. So thank you very much. See you next week. Right?
Thank you very much.
Thank
ma'am.
And that
Thank
girl
you,
who
madam.
was hospitalized, she is not here today now. Shalini, she joined from hospital that day. She's not here today, no?
She's not
Okay.
the man.
Yeah. Okay then. Do you have a class representative and all that? Are you in a WhatsApp group or anything?
Still not.
Ye-
All right. Right, okay. එහෙම කරගන්න WhatsApp group එකක් form කරලා leader කෙනෙක්ව දාගෙන then you can, if you have doubts, you can discuss, you can share posts, you write answers and share it with your friends. That kind of work is needed in doing a degree, okay? Right, okay? Then good night. Thank you for joining, okay?
Good night,
Thank you,
ma'am.
Good
ma'am.
night,
Good
ma'am.
night.
Thank you.
Good night, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, dear.